I got to tell you, I was on my way in here this morning in my car. Thank God I was in my car and not walking or running or riding a bike or something.
Do you run to work
Something
often?
would pull you off your bike.
You know for a fact I used to run at 3 o'clock in the morning, and then I'd shower, and then I'd come
But
here.
you said you were on your way here.
Right, but I should...
Thank God you weren't running. Do you
Yeah.
run
That's-
here very often?
No.
Sorry, hon, gotta go.
That's when you were in your American
freeway.
Beauty phase.
Right.
You were totally in a Kevin Spacey getting buff in your garage phase.
I was not.
I don't know what cheerleader you were in love with, but you were freaking us out.
I'm trying to tell a story here.
All right.
You set yourself up.
I hate her. Can we fire
Oh,
her?
we all do, but that's okay.
Because my daughter's friends aren't going to come
Brian
around
can
anymore.
live with it. He's learned how to live with
I've
it.
Well,
learned
my
to handle
daughter's
it.
friends, their
Eric's
mothers are going to
okay.
go, I heard the girl say on the news this morning.
Eric
he was
might
in
even
love
like
with...
me.
Yeah, all right. So I'm on my way here this morning.
In your car.
In my car.
Windows rolled up?
Yes, because I had
Yes.
the air on because it's so
course you
humid.
did.
Right.
And disgusting outside because
right.
it's summer.
It's like Jupiter.
Right. It's
Summer is disgusting.
very uncomfortable. So I see and I have to preface this with yesterday morning, I saw a doe.
A deer, a
fawn.
female deer.
A fawn, not a doe, a fawn, a very small.
Spotted back?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was very small. It was on its own because I saw it. I thought it
Because
was
its
a
mother
dog
died
at first.
of spongiform brain
I
disease.
thought it was a dog at first, but then
Yeah.
as I got closer, I thought that's a fawn.
That there's a deer dog. Him only eat grass and they got them hooves.
You can't tame them.
Deer dog.
That there's a deer dog. Left a bowl out for it, never found it.
So I see a.
Never say them deer dog teeth, they ain't got no fangs. Tried to feed them meat, but they just won't take it.
A teenager accused of shooting a 28-year-old chimpanzee named Susie has gone on trial in Missouri.
Yeah, you can't do that, not even in Missouri.
A neighbor
They
testified.
don't have a chimp season?
No, they don't. No, they do not.
Not a gun chimp season,
Well,
not a
I
bow
shouldn't.
chimp
I shouldn't be
season.
so quick to say that because how long ago did we live in Missouri? 20 years,
Yeah,
roughly 20 years ago.
18,
They could have put a
something.
chimp season in since then, but I know they didn't have one when we were there.
A neighbor testified yesterday that 18-year-old Jason Coates emerged from his house near Festus.
Not many towns are named after
I nearly thought it was fetus.
hick-like Gunsmoke characters, but go ahead.
Played by Ken
Curtis.
Curtis.
Yeah. All right.
But
A neighbor testified yesterday that 18-year-old Jason Coates emerged from his house near Festus, shot the chimp, and then bragged that he had, quote, just got him a monkey.
Does he get to keep it? Skin it?
Probably
Maybe
not.
a monkey rug?
you usually don't get to keep them when you make the news.
Well, Susie and 3 other chimps had escaped from a nearby business that supplies animals for parties and TV commercials. Do we
boy.
even have one of those around here? And Festus has one?
It seems wrong, doesn't it?
I've never had a chimp at one of our
Rent a
parties.
monkey? Yeah. I'm having a party and I want
Need 3.
a barrel of monkeys.
Yeah.
Now, Coates says he was defending himself because the chimps tried to attack. Prosecutors, however,
Well, they can bite hard.
say the 115-pound animal had been tranquilized and was sitting motionless when it was shot in the back.
Wow, that's terrible.
It was like, picture a little chimp back.
And shot in the back.
Wow, I'm appalled.
Like how a little chimp sits
Oh, that's
all curled up.
terrible. That's terrible here in
You
the Christmas
can't
season.
tranquilize an animal and then go hunting it. That's just wrong.
Tranquilized with his back to him.
No kidding.
It later
Let
had
their
to
monkey.
be
Let their monkey
euthanized.
charge me.
You backshot that monkey, you slime hole.
Get your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape!
Then I shot him.
The neighbors say the chimps appear to be playing and picking flowers,
Oh, no.
not acting violently.
Oh, no.
That there, you weren't there. That there monkey, he charged me. He charged me, has fangs out.
That there monkey was mailing me some anthrax. So I shot it.
That monkey didn't never know near that mailbox he was picking flowers.
Then their monkeys never attack you. They're picking flowers.
They was grooming each other like they do.
What do you mean by attack? What do you mean by attack? What do you mean? What do you mean?
I mean, they was picking
They're
flowers.
mailing me anthrax. They're mailing me the anthrax. Hey, monkey. So shot it.
I never even saw that Susie one move.
The one was sleeping.
Not till she got shot.
Yeah. I don't think we were done any particular disservice being fired from a station in Missouri.
Missouri.
I just got me a monkey.
It's probably just as well.
He
Otherwise,
faces-
we might have raised us a couple of monkey shooters by now.
We might have been the victims of monkey shooters by now. Did you hear that bomb ride this morning? I did, so I shot him. Did you get that email?
No.
The guy who recreated the Few Good Men scene with between
Bonds.
Barry Bonds and Bud
You
Selig?
want me hitting home runs? You
Here,
need me
come here.
hitting home
Read the
runs.
circled parts.
I got the
Come here.
email.
Oh, I
I
have
didn't
to go-
read it. I saw
Yeah.
that.
I have to
saw
go over
that.
by Brian. Hold
Yeah.
on.
Here it is.
I need to take my headphones over there as well.
And,
This is Barry Bonds. I'll be Barry Bonds, and Bob will be Bud Selig. All right?
All right. All right.
You want
Time
answers?
Hold on, I got to turn this microphone.
Oh,
Right back there.
time now for the Bob and Brian
Radio
not ready
theater.
for prime
Yeah,
time
that's what it is.
players.
All right, here's a Few Good Men scene. Here we go.
All right, here we go.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled to them.
You want answers?
Wait a minute.
I want
that
the truth.
Sucks. Time out.
But
a
he's
second. If you're gonna play Nicholson, Madden, give it some feeling, okay?
No, I'm the Nicholson.
No,
No.
he said.
I
I
I
think
think
I'm
I'm entitled to them. That's Tom Cruise
Yeah.
thing.
Well,
I think
Just,
All right, a little
just
bit
sit
more
down.
passion.
Just sit down,
A little
Baldy.
more passion from Madden. That's all I know.
all right. I'll
You
try.
want answers?
Ready? Here we
think,
go.
I think I'm entitled to them.
You want answers?
I want the truth.
You can't handle the truth. Bud, we live in a world with empty seats, and those empty seats need to be filled with fans. Who's gonna do it? You, Wendy Seelig Preeb with your bobblehead night promotions? I have a greater responsibility than you can possibly fathom. You cursed Ken Caminetti and Mark Jose Canseco. You have that luxury. You have the luxury of not knowing what I know, that Canseco's steroid use, while tragic, filled your seats. And in my existence, while grotesque and incomprehensible to you, fills seats. You don't want the truth because deep down in places you don't talk about in locker rooms, you want me to hit that home run. You need me to hit that home run. You use words like dinger, grand salami, off the reservation, and future Hall of Famer. You use them as a punchline. I have neither the time nor the inclination to explain myself to a commissioner who cheers along with the fans-filled stadiums that I provide, then questions the manner in which I fill them. I would rather you just said thank you and went on your way. Otherwise, I suggest you pick up a bat and stand at the plate.
Thought the Monty Burns of baseball at the play. He might tip over with a bat.
That's
Either
the man-
way, I don't give a damn what your records think that are tainted.
Oh, my line. I have to look here. Do you use steroids?
You suck, man. You really suck.
I do what I have to do to hit home runs.
Do you use
You're
steroids?
damn right I do.
Genius.
That's from, who wrote that? Duran Lavin.
You were here last week, weren't you, Ted? While we were gone on vacation.
I filled in. Yeah,
you
I got
filled
the-
in for
I got
Carrie
the,
one day.
Carrie was sick.
Yeah, you were here with Eric, and Eric said you have to come back because.
Well, he thought you'd like my vacation story to Washington because I met your good friend Ted Kennedy.
All right.
Well, I'm walking.
Kennedy.
I'd never been to D.C. before, and I'm walking, and I see this guy across from the Capitol steps, and he's out on the back lawn of the Capitol, and he's dressed nicely, and he's hitting a tennis ball. My friend who knew Washington was showing me around.
He's
and
hitting a tennis ball.
he's hitting a tennis ball, and a dog is running and getting it and bringing it
with
back.
the tennis racket.
Right.
Okay.
He's in a suit and he's doing this?
Yeah, right. He had like 15 minutes in between sessions, right? So I said, I think that's holy cow, that's Ted Kennedy. You know, I'm like here to the houses across the street from Laser.
So you're approximately 100 yards away,
Thank you.
roughly.
Right. And my friend goes, no, it's not. It can't be. And I said, no, it is.
Ted Kennedy doesn't
It's
get
Ted
the
Kennedy.
Washington, D.C., outside the Capitol building. That's where he works. But it can't be Ted Kennedy. Why couldn't it be Ted Kennedy?
Well, because you don't
all the places in the
because we
world
had
to
been
see
there
Ted
5
Kennedy
minutes. We had
in
been there 5
Massachusetts and
minutes. We had
Washington.
checked in and started walking. You know, it's like you don't go to New York and see Letterman 5 minutes
I'm
after
on your
getting
side.
there.
You said it was Ted Kennedy.
Right.
If it was Ted Kennedy, there'd be a broad somewhere around.
So he's hitting the ball, and the dog runs and gets the tennis ball every time he comes back. And I start walking over there. And my friend said, where are you going? I said, can I go say hello? She goes, you just don't walk up to Ted Kennedy and say hello. I said, you do when you're named after him. And I don't know if you know that, but I am Edward Perry. But I've been called Ted since I was 2 seconds old.
Are your
because-
parents ashamed that they named you that now after all the...
Well, I always say I'm named after the fat, drunk Kennedy brother, but people point out he's the only one still alive, so I guess that's not so bad. But no, they're not ashamed of it. They're Irish Catholic Democrats. They
right.
did it intentionally. So he's hitting the ball, and the dog keeps bringing it back. And I walk up to him and I say, "That's impressive, Senator. But if you really want to impress voters, you'll teach the dog how to hit a backhand." Boom, boom. Nice icebreaker. He
Yeah,
says,
Raw.
That's very
Yeah,
funny.
thank
I've had people killed saying things like that to me. Who are you?
I thought I'd let you insert the bubble. It's like a blank cartoon,
course.
and you guys
All
just
right.
fill in, right?
Yeah.
So
Shoot this man.
I said, can I introduce myself? My name is Ted Perry. I was born Edward Perry. You know, I'm from a big Irish Catholic Democratic family. I was named after you, and I've never been to Washington before.
Was
I
that
always
before
said,
or after Chappaquiddick?
well, hold on, that's where we're going. So I just said, if I ever got a chance, I would just say hello and meet you. And then my friend introduced herself and said hello.
Because let me tell you right now, that broad never had a chance.
It didn't come up. Well, I shouldn't say it didn't come up at all, but didn't want to bother him. Just want to say hello
Right.
and start walking. He's very cordial. I mean, he's a politician.
He was nice to you.
He was very kind to us.
You couldn't tell if he was happy to see you or not. Because he's a politician and
He's
you
a
just
politician.
don't know.
He could have been thinking, can't
Yeah.
a guy just play with his dog on the Capitol lawn without getting, harassed?
If I had a nickel for every Tom, Dick, and Harry who said he was named after me when I was hitting balls to my dog.
Okay.
We choose to hit
So
balls
I
to my
introduced
dog,
myself.
not because it's easy, but because it's hard.
We asked the dog to return things.
When I came back, Mary Jo and the car were gone.
Okay.
Ich bin ein ball hitter.
This is why you're not going to believe it. So there's an awkward moment. We don't know what to say anymore. And he introduces, and then he says, this is my dog, Splash.
This is my dog, Splash.
Splash. And my mind
Did you say Splash?
goes blank. Because I want to say, you mean the same sound that Mary Jo made when she hit the water.
That's what you thought, isn't
That's
it?
what I'm thinking. I'm going,
What all of us
please
would
work,
think.
please work, gate work, please work.
Right.
And my friend talked to him for like 30 seconds because my mind's blank. All I can think of is don't say a thing, don't say a thing, don't say a thing, don't say a thing.
Right.
He
Couldn't
named
even
his
come up
dog
with a
Splash.
Nice dog. Nice doggy.
But
Yeah.
don't you think that's ridiculous?
Yeah.
I think
a lot of things about Senator
What I think would have been
Kennedy
really
are
funny if his other dogs would have come up. One's named Mary Jo and one's named Chappaquiddick.
This is Chappie and MJ. Chappie, MJ, Splash, get in the car. We're going to go.
Probably the only worst names for a dog for Senator Kennedy would be like Oswald and Sirhan.
That's right. That's exactly right.
This is my dog, Oswald.
A Nevada bachelor can relax. The lace panties that he received in the mail were from a secret admirer, not a terrorist. Churchill.
He just wasn't very clean.
Why did he
It seems like terror.
Why did he think these panties were laced with anthrax?
Oh.
I mean,
Because
I could
people
guess.
are panicking,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
Churchill County Sheriff Bill Lowry says the man was worried after he sniffed the black thong panties and the unsigned love letter that came with them.
What?
He then called authorities who
First thing
placed
you
the
do when you get panties
unmentionables.
in the mail is sniff them? Is that the first thing you do?
You can't be asking that without. You can't really be asking that. Don't, because you're just opening
That's
the
the
door.
original. But
What
you know
would
what?
you do?
That's-
You can't say you wouldn't.
That's the original animal
You
reaction
will
to
be
everything.
lying.
Just smell it?
Isn't it? That's what dogs do. That's what every creature does to check out its environment or new things. They give it a little sniff, give it a taste, give it a poke.
Well, first, when you pick him up, you look around.
Thank you.
No
now
one's
he's
looking.
being honest.
Then you.
I can see you in your office at 4:30 a.m.
Then you go like this.
Big whiff.
Stop it. Then you put them on your head and dance.
I think you're right. I wonder if these have anthrax on them.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, I don't get the progression there.
Well, think of this guy. I mean, what does he get and not get? Probably plenty.
Well, you shouldn't have done that. Oh. Okay. Why didn't you
Get the
not
Kleenex
do
and
it?
start blowing your nose.
Blow your septum out.
God, it's all the way up in my brain already. What symptoms did he suddenly develop after the
He didn't.
panty sniffing?
He didn't.
He didn't.
Just panicked. He panicked. Panic is not forethought. Panicking
Okay.
is just jumping off.
So everything this guy does is like a knee-jerk reaction. He gets the panties in the mail. Oh. First thing he does is follow his animal urge to snort them.
You betcha.
Then, in a rare,
Nationwide.
in a just a break from the animal instinct, he gets a panic instinct because of all the news he's been hearing.
Actually, that's the most base level instinct we have is to
Right,
survive.
but
He
that's
goes
what I
even
say.
further
But
backward.
that's what I say. It's all knee jerk. It's just,
Right.
oh, oh, wait, no, maybe I shouldn't.
Eat, sleep, breathe.
Right. So what is this guy? What?
Must eat.
What? Does this guy ever think anything through? Or is he just act on his?
He's like a bug.
He's just in big
reacts
impulse.
to
on his
everything.
nerve? Does he have a ganglia
ganglia.
instead of a brain?
His bundle.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
Yes.
my question.
Sparking.
Yes, he does. The answer,
Kid.
yes.
The man called authorities who placed the
Hi,
unmentionables.
911. I just got done sniffing some panties.
And I'm thinking of anthrax. My first question, if I'm the law enforcement guy, and the other end of that phone call isn't like, what's going to happen to the guy because he should probably die anyway, just for the good of the country. But what kind of woman is this?
The woman in question contacted authorities to say she had a romantic interest in the unnamed bachelor. How she knew that he flipped and maybe she saw it on the news or read it in the paper. A
Or he
bachelor got
came
panties
running
in the
out of
mail.
the house with the panties on his head, flailing wildly. I got the anthrax!
Of course they're on his head.
Sure, of course.
There's so many things to go wrong getting your boat in and out of the water. You know, Zabin always gets on me to have a checklist. There should be a checklist on your boat. Trim up, plug
I was preparing
in.
to put our boat in using a small gravel landing where you have to negotiate between two clumps of trees and the ramp is below view of the back window. My wife usually tries to help direct me since the landing is narrow and getting off into the adjacent muck is a big problem. My wife, unfortunately, tends to stand where she cannot be seen in any of the mirrors and yell things like, this way, or the other way, in between alarming sounds that form no specific word.
This way and that way. Yeah,
Where
that's
she can't be
good.
seen.
Right.
Not infrequently, the launching effort resulted in the exchange of unpleasantries and multiple tries at the landing. This year, she said there's no way she's going to be involved. Instead, my 8-year-old son proceeded to direct me perfectly down the ramp with clear directions and hand signals visible in the side view mirror. The boat was successfully launched in a matter of minutes. I have now concluded that the boat launching is like trying to teach your wife how to golf or drive a stick shift.
I went looking for that flat green soaker hose yesterday.
Uh-huh.
Nobody has it.
What's the soaker
Well, wait
hose?
a
Is
minute.
that
You got to order it from TV.
You have a sprinkler system.
Yeah, but I have one strip of grass in the backyard.
is that the hose with the different holes in it? Like
Yeah, it's just
every so
you
often?
lay it flat and it just psh, up in the air.
Menards has them.
Well, every place I went yesterday, I couldn't find it, so I gave up and bought like this $6 sprinkler.
You can order the flat hose, not the one with the holes
No, I
in it,
don't-
but
I
just
don't-
the flat hose
I
on
don't
TV.
need the flat. Eric, I know you want everyone to have the flat hose because he's convinced everyone's
a
going to
big
die.
proponent.
Eric's convinced in seeing this
Well,
commercial.
regular hose looks very dangerous.
Oh yeah, it looks like Captain Nemo fighting that octopus in 20,000 Leagues
Thing
Under the
came
Sea.
alive.
Right.
See, that ad worked on Eric. He's like, don't touch the hose.
How do you leave the hose alone?
It's got a young child
Get
to
the
think
children
about.
away.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but Eric wants everyone to have the flat hose that they can keep in their wallet.
Yeah, it's one of the best brand X things. You know, all the commercials that compare stuff.
Yeah.
Here's you talking on your phone, and it's almost killing you. And then here's the new.
No, you're always dropping it.
Yeah, right.
You have that
whatever.
little belt thing that so you zip and it
Yeah.
doesn't let it hit the ground. You haven't seen, the best brand X
Oh,
commercial.
I think it's the hose one.
No, you
No?
know why you think that? Because you haven't seen the can go round.
Oh, I've
you're
heard
still
you
on the
talking
can
about the
go
When the
around.
kid opens the refrigerator and all the soda falls out. Why are you living like this? You could have the can go around.
I'm the paint
It's
edger
da-
girl.
They actually made it look dangerous to go to your refrigerator and get a cool can of soda. Wow!
It may attack.
Don't let this happen to you. Yeah, like a wall of soda. They're reaching in
Well, how
and
many
stuff is
does
falling on the
how many
floor.
does the can go round hold?
Enough.
Maybe
Enough
a
for the
12
family.
pack. 12
Yeah.
pack, maybe.
And how many cans fell out on the kid?
50 at least.
1,500? Well, I think there's your problem there.
1,500, right?
I think there's the problem there.
Have you lost a child to soft drinks?
Cans.
Oh.
Yeah, the can go around. And the can go around, you're just at the mercy of what's on the end.
Yeah, what if you don't want
Right.
sherry that
Then
day?
you got to sit and
Maybe your root beer, your cream
Rearrange.
soda's in the back, right?
Well,
you
you
gotta
just gotta
7
keep
in.
pumping
shoving them
around.
through, right? Yeah.
So you're spending more time in front of an open refrigerator
Yes.
than ever
Wasting
before.
energy.
When all the soda fell on the kid, how are they putting the
venison.
soda in the refrigerator? With a shovel?
Like they're
Go
stoking
stoke
up
the refrigerator.
like they were stoking up a coal furnace.
Right.
Just shoveling it in.
Have you ever heard of stacking? Have you ever heard of shelves?
Stoke in the refrigerator.
Just a big coal shovel.
Scuttle, right?
Like it was a silo. They just
cans.
add boards as it got
Right.
full on the bottom until the whole thing was full.
Do you ever think of that? Brand X family?
Timmy was our high school quarterback. And then
You see the refrigerator with a coal shovel sitting next to it.
Need some more cold sodas. Go stoke the fridge.
in the old days, your father stoked for 24 hours.
He's down there singing songs. 16 man.
Shoveling soda. Yeah. I love the infomercial. The hose one is a classic. The guy trying to wind it up and it's all twisted.
Oh, sure.
Hey, dumbass, why don't you straighten it out first? Pull the whole thing out. Get all the twists out of it, and then it'll wind up nicely, you big dope.
It looks like a huge python around him
Yeah.
or something. He's battling with it.
Don't turn the water off. Don't. Breaks his neck. Why don't they just get done with that and just show the morgue or the emergency room? Instead of a guy battling with, show the end result. Yes, this killed him. The hose, the weed whacker, the cans.
You got 4 or 5 bodies laying there.
Just go right to the graveyard.
You
Just
get the hose, get the hose
tombstone
marks
sitting there.
around the neck.
You just
Right.
pull out the drawer and then you see a toe tag and then all this hose wound around his leg.
Make it an episode of CSI, when
Yeah,
they're
Quincy.
checking the guy over and he's got a soda
No.
can embedded
What
in
about,
his
No
head.
CSI.
Yeah, all the people who died from not using better products.
Right. It's a dangerous world. Just look at the Brand X families.
Wouldn't you love just a half-hour show one time with family with nothing but stuff they bought on TV?
Yes.
Spray on hair, pocket fisherman.
Oh, yeah.
The rotisserie
Cap
thing.
snafflers.
Yeah, right.
Chip clips.
Banjo Minnow.
Secret hair.
I'm gonna get me one of those how to play Little League baseball videos.
Yeah, with Fred
Where
McGriff.
I can throw the ball into the garbage can at home plate in case there's ever not a catcher there. I'll be able to get it in the garbage can. Why am I throwing? Why do we have a human back there? Why is there a garbage can?
Well, the catcher couldn't afford a mitt, so we gave him a garbage can.
Of course, he has to fit.
Sesame Street.
You hear that after every pitch?
Throw it right in here. Come on, bitch.
Can you cut one for me that talks about Madden discussing how to surf for girl-on-girl porn? Come on.
Hey, we'll do that one. Here's when you're looking on the internet, you gotta look for you gotta put in some keywords. You gotta go to maybe Yahoo or Google or something like that, and then you look up boobs or ass. And you look for something backdoor. Sometimes you look for that, and if you then you look for tasty young teens. If you look for that, you look for girl on girl, and you put that. You can't put girl and then on and then girl. You got to put it all in quotes. Then you get it. If you do, you'll get other things like girls dancing on cars, and that's not with other girls. And see, it comes up in there. But if you got it in the quotes, you got to get girl on girl. Now, I've never seen this, but I've heard that that's. And when you see that's the kind of thing that happens, and then you know it.
I'm telling you, those carnies got the dough coming in. Yeah, we may laugh at them.
The Midway makes me a little nervous.
Why do we expect
High and dry.
people with caked in grime in their bodies and dirt under their fingernails,
Junk.
and probably a heroin habit that drive around from city to city
Can pull
across
their
our
own
great
teeth out.
nation, right? Just full of syphilis and
Dripping and itching.
and probably hallucinating half the time. Why do we expect them to be politically correct? The fair had the Zyklon roller coaster,
Named after
the
war
gas
gas.
that killed millions of Jews.
Yeah, they changed that.
They're fair people. They're carnies. That's what they do. They're bottom feeders. Let them be so. Why in the world would you take a little child to these syphilis-ridden drug addicts? Why would you do that?
Because
you yourself by
let's all go to the fair.
Yeah.
You know that
the fair.
yeah.
The fair.
But
Yeah,
in
I
that,
just there's an image in my mind that's just in there forever. Mm-hmm. And I remember going to the county fair as a kid, in Racine.
Yeah, Racine County
out there
Fair,
at Old Settlers Park in Union Grove, and watching the guy running the scrambler.
did you freak out about it, man, or no?
Skinny, dark, and I don't know whether it was dirt or a
Sunburnt
tan.
and dirty. Yep.
A tank top, tattoos all over, greasy hair,
On the lamb.
cigarette butt hanging out of his mouth.
He's putting your 3-year-old into a.
Right, and you're all out there.
He's
you're
touching your
right,
3-year-old.
your county kids, your apple-cheeked farm
He's
youngsters
picking up
are
your
out
3-year-old, and you can't help but notice he's got an erection.
Oh, jeez.
there. Sure, trust your lives to these people.
Not
Sure,
your lives, your children.
And they were
Give
excited.
your kids to these guys who just in a drug-induced state might forget to bolt something together.
That's news.
Instead of a happy day on the ride, you're sailing off over the fence into traffic. Yeah, do that. That's a good idea. Anyway,
Hey, you want to crawl on that scrambler?
I'll never forget that. It's just and knives. There were always knives. They always had a sheath knife or a big old jackknife right there to cut somebody's throat for some heroin money. Don't you remember knives? Where did you see more knives than you've ever seen in your life? At the fair. They
win 'em.
give them away.
You could
I
win.
was like 9 years old. I won a 6-inch buck knife at the fair. They just give them to kids. A big old blade you could gut out a deer with. Or, a friend who pissed you off. Or your drug connection who didn't come through. Your local crack whore. It had an eagle head on it.
Yeah.
It had like the thing to keep your hand from slipping off on the top there.
That's why you're gutting someone
Right,
out.
while you're sticking someone and disemboweling them.
Sure.
I got a knife.
Hey, let's all go to the fair,
I
everyone.
want a knife. I'll take that. The knife? Sure, son.
And finally, this news story from the Weekly World News. We were supposed to get to it early this morning, but I forgot.
Good.
Oh, that's right. The story from
I
yesterday.
can't believe this was skipped over yesterday.
I had to be reminded.
Brian, you kind of scolded her
I know I
in the
did,
air yesterday
but come on.
because she was doing some story and, I remember what the headline was. Gorilla.
Read it.
The world's smartest ape goes to college.
Yes.
But there's more. Oh, but there's more.
Okay.
Scientists
Go ahead.
have turned an ordinary chimpanzee named Frank into a genius who plays the stock market, knows more about computers than you ever will, and I'm not looking at Brian. Don't take that personally.
Plays the stock market.
And just got accepted into a major state university.
That would explain a lot of wild fluctuations lately.
Sell. He's got a little
What's
button.
the chimp doing?
He gets a banana every time he hits the buy button or the sell button.
So
I feel-
he plays the stock market. He knows more about computers than any human will, and what?
And he's going to college.
He's going to college.
Major
Well,
state
that's what he should.
college.
Major state university. University. This
Where'd
is
you go to
Washington,
school?
D.C.
Major state. Where?
I feel safe in saying that we have actually
Isn't that
created...
the university that let the gorilla in? Yeah, I was turned down.
Did you guys have a mascot? Yeah, I was the mascot.
What was the entrance exam? Picking lice off the person next to you?
I finally got
No,
my
using tools.
I got my letter from Major State. Should I open it? Yeah, I was
Sorry,
turned
we
down.
couldn't let you in. There was a chimp.
It was a chimp quota.
I had to make room for a monkey.
All right.
I feel safe in saying we have actually created the world's smartest chimpanzee, boasts Dr. Anthony Metaxas, head of the research project that boosted Frank's brain power. His IQ has increased to almost 10 times what it was when we began the project a mere 18 months ago.
So can Frank talk and drive a car and sign up for classes and stuff?
Does he get bills? Does he have a cell phone? Do you have a social security number?
This may be one of the most far-reaching achievements ever realized.
Because I would think before he could go to college, he really ought to be able to talk and not throw his feces. Although in the 60s, you had to be able to do that.
I don't know that he
Does
needs
he
to
wear
talk.
a suit? Does he wear pants? Does he dress?
Yeah, here's a
Does he have
picture of
top
his-
hat?
Because with knowledge comes embarrassment. He can't be walking around with his chimp testicles
Here he
hanging
is
out.
on his skateboard with his T-shirt and his little long shorts and his skateboard and his
I keep thinking
laptop.
it's an ape. It's a chimp.
It's a chimp.
It's a chimp. I have to keep that in mind. It's a chimp.
But a chimp is part of the great ape family, aren't they?
Sure.
Yeah, so they're okay in saying that.
Okay.
Okay, since Dr. Metaxas' team
Does he
began...
have to wear shoes? Does he have a student ID? Does he have a roommate?
He get invited to functions?
Imagine
Has he
you
been rushed by
he
a
been hazed?
fraternity?
Imagine you walk into your dorm room and there's a monkey sitting on the other bed.
Oh, hello. My name's Frank.
Hey, Frank.
Do sit down.
Hey, Frank. I'd think it was candid camera. I think I'd seen
looking all around.
You're a chimp, aren't you, Frank? Yes, quite.
Since Dr. Metaxas' team began tinkering with Frank's brain, the chimp has made more than $25,000 in the stock market, which he tracks on the internet and in several investment newsletters.
I should be able to retire in 5 years.
Not only learned how to type at 120 words a minute, but has written an actual novel.
He's written a novel, so he's
What does he need to go to college for?
Well,
what he doesn't know. How do we know what he doesn't know?
maybe he wants to go into
Be
physics,
well-rounded.
and he just...
I'd be surprised if
I
there's.
should like to be a doctor.
I'd be surprised. I'd be shocked if they said there was a monkey in grade school,
Uh-huh.
7th grade.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
I'm going, what?
If all he could do was type 120 words a minute, that would be something.
Right.
He's
If
playing
he
the
could make-
stock market.
if
He's
he-
going to
making
college.
money.
If this monkey baked a lasagna from scratch, I'd be going, wow!
Without talking or anything. If he could just
Make a cake, frosted cake.
Sure. I just picture him real busy at home all during the day. Well, I've got to call into my broker while I'm mixing the cake. I have a column to write for Time magazine.
He's a Renaissance chimp.
I don't have time to sell anything right now.
He recorded an almost perfect score on the entrance test for Mensa, the International Club for Geniuses. He designed and built his own website and chats on the internet.
His last name Zayas by any chance?
An Australian man cut off his little finger on his right hand, then his scrotum, then his penis, and finally his left hand in a drug-induced act of self-mutilation after arguing with his wife.
Wait a minute, back up. Small finger on his right hand.
Little finger on his right hand.
And then he said, wait a minute.
That's not good enough.
That's
not bleeding near enough.
He didn't say it like that. He said, I don't do a very good Australian accent. Yeah, get me scrotum up here.
Then his penis.
Crikey.
Because he was in the neighborhood.
All right, so wait, the scrotum, the penis,
Little
the baby finger.
Scrotum, penis, and finally his whole left hand. Police said the man was lucky. Ambulance officers witnessed the attack and prevented him from bleeding to death.
Yeah, because you wouldn't want to lose somebody like that.
No.
No, you sure don't want to let somebody like
keep
that
them
just
alive.
die. Right.
So then one
so
guy.
that maybe they could raise a whole lot of kids or become a scoutmaster.
So then there was the one guy, though.
Yeah, lucky for us, he didn't bleed to death. Thank goodness.
Oh, he's alive? Oh, good.
Did you hear? Did you hear?
Yeah, we almost lost Digger.
He's like a uranium worker at the plant, you know? I would just be the police officer that recovered these several body parts and packed them in ice in the hope that they could be
He had
retouched.
to make
We
two
hope
trips.
that
He had to make 2 trips to get it all out to the car.
Yeah, 2 playmates. Playmates.
Careful where you walk, looking for a penis. Found the testicles.
Oh, yeah.
Wait a minute. Oh, that's not the penis. It's the baby finger.
The penis was a fair dinkum away.
Make sure you sew those back on the right places. You wake up and your baby finger is sewn on where you are. Where your rig used to be hooked up.
How about your rig is on your left wrist?
Take a pee without even dropping his trousers. Points it right in the air. Yeah, there you go. Like he's some kind of Jedi master.
Then he's in the next Foster's commercial.
Yeah, urinate.
Right. Well, then they flew him to Sydney just to make
they
sure
put him on
everything
flight for
would
life.
go
Yeah, because you want to
really well for
draw that back
emergency
on, right?
microsurgery, and he's now in stable condition. Oh, good.
Great. Hopefully we can get him back home and up and running real soon. Get a card from the boys at shop. We're all pulling for you. Get well soon.
See you back at the pub. Your mates.
They never have to do that in a tough man competition, do they? I'll show you how tough I am. I'll cut my own penis off. Man, tell me.
I'd watch that. I'd watch that all day.
Tell me an opponent wouldn't be stunned by that.
Cut off his own penis, put it in a bun and ate it. It's the toughest thing I've ever seen. All the other competitors just walked out right there.
A 38-year-old Milwaukee woman was arrested Monday for cracking the whip, so to speak, in her rented apartment in the 800 block of East Center Street, affectionately known as River West.
Who was the last woman who was
Grandma?
Jacques Hess, yeah, the
up
grandma.
in Brown Deer, right?
No,
what
no.
was like
South 71st Street.
Scaring the grandkids while she was downstairs in the
Grandpa let her.
the dungeon.
Grandpa said she had her fun down there.
Yeah. Remember she called it a dungeon.
And I said,
Her name was Madam. Like,
it's not a dungeon.
the water softener. There's no oil burning heater in a dungeon.
Right.
There's no workbench in a dungeon. Jars of nuts and bolts.
Do you think she did much canning? Do you think she had she'd put up preserves or
Grandma?
Some pickles.
No, she was
bread
beating men senseless.
Some,
No.
some bread and butter.
She was whipping him in their junk.
No, but I'll bet there was other basement stuff in there, like trunks of clothes,
Laundry baskets.
Kicking him.
Yeah,
It was Madame Jacques something. There was like 5
So you got
names.
a laundry room down here in your dungeon. That's the evil laundry room. That's the laundry room of hell.
Lick it, slave.
yeah.
Old board games up
That's
on a
the
shelf.
clothing beater.
Wow, Battleship.
Yeah, after you whip that guy, you want to bring the Nesco roaster up? Okay.
Sitting on a shelf next to the dryer.
The domination is making the men help her set up for the garage sale on Saturday.
Someone has to come down and put in a new screw in a new fuse because they're running a hairdryer and a curling iron on the same outlet. Yeah, why don't you go in the dungeon and change that fuse?
What do you got running off this circuit? You got a hairdryer, a curling iron, and a ball poker. You got the electric nut stabber going on off of here. You gotta turn one of them things off.
And she's cooking barbecues
Right.
for the church get-together
Got chili cooking over here.
in her slow roaster.
Yeah.
And the dungeon smells like chili today, mistress.
Yeah. Well,
Shut up!
We can't put your penis in the slow roaster today because I'm cooking up some ham hocks.
But I'll pay extra.
Well, it's just full. It's just full.
Now, this article is great because Bob, for one, always wants a price list, so here it is.
Yes, good. Finally, a price list. What's a good testicle beating go for these days?
Depends on what you're whomping it with, I guess. How long? All right, so the prices.
It's just a one
I just see her walking
All
over
they say is one dom, so I'm
just-
assuming that's meaning one person.
I just,
Okay?
when she goes for her instruments down there in the dungeon, I just see her getting the dust mop or a broom or
Sure, there's
some
a
toilet
bucket
brush.
in the way.
And she
right.
painted it,
mop.
and put stickers on it. So that
We've
it
gotta clean
became
these paintbrushes out of here.
it became the anal probe.
Right. That's a mop.
It is not a mop slave. Lick my foot. One dom for an hour was $200. Then you could have one dom.
$200 just to get in the door. That's your
That's your probably
it's your
standard.
basic package.
Like probably she gets to do to you, and you don't
Rubber
get to
ball
ask.
in the mouth, leather hood over your head.
Oh, I don't know.
You think the Supreme packages she goes and gets if she's beating you with like her whip and stuff and that's not enough for you,
Taser.
you think she's
Stun
tasered
gun.
you. You think for like the right amount of money she goes and gets a driver out of her husband's golf bag over in the corner. Just pounds.
If she can't find some evil stick,
She goes and gets an old tennis racket.
a yardstick or a
Your ass looks like a brisket.
old piece of conduit.
PVC.
After all, she was just renting.
There's
Some
always
copper
the
tubing.
bag of oranges. I don't know.
I don't know what to do with this guy. I give him my best.
I busted all my regular equipment over his head.
That's news.
Starting to go through my axe handle and couple of buckets I dented up, garbage can lids.
What do you guys do with your basement over there, you and Jim? It's not a dungeon, is it?
No,
It's just a basement, right?
it's where I store my Mary Kay stuff.
Okay.
No, it's a finished basement. It's a rec room with TV, bar.
All right.
We party down there sometimes.
Party.
Party.
Sure. Wild
Not
stuff.
a dungeon, though. Not
No,
a dungeon.
I missed the price. What was the price?
Well, it depended. She didn't
It
really
went
give
by
it
time.
They didn't give you like what was in each package.
Oh.
The 1 hour, 2 hour.
the meter's running.
So what was an hour?
$200.
2 hours was $350. They give you a $50 break, but you would be forced to buy some of the equipment when she was done.
Is that what it said?
Like maybe you're forced to buy that vice that she put your nuts in or something.
And this music is playing.
That's how I would picture it.
This is playing the whole time you're down there.
Oh my God.
What's going on down there?
Just enjoying some music.
Just listen
Dear.
to the records, honey.
I know what's going on when you're playing that. Draw strength simply from this man's presence. Whether you're royalty or sick lowly peasants, his calming air relaxes each sense and each limb. Our source for serenity, Fireman!
Oh, yeah. Woo! Fireman Jim is 1023. The echo effect today.
Ah, I know you like special effects.
I sure do.
And we don't have a lot of money to spend on them here.
We need more special
on the Bob
effects.
and Brian program.
How are you, Fireman Jim? It's good to see you.
Oh, I'm good. I'm tired, but I'm good.
So what's going on, Fireman Jim? What story have you brought?
Pool safety.
Oh,
Pool
because I have a pool.
Well, that
Gosh,
makes
Fireman
sense.
Jim, this is perfect because I was just saying to Brian earlier this morning, this has got to be one of the hottest summers we've had in the last 10 years.
It is a hot one. It is a hot one. That's why the pool was just the kicker for me. So we go to our city pool.
This is when you're a kid,
This is when I
Fireman
was
Jim?
like-
This
yeah.
is personal experience?
Right,
This is
personal
the run that you went on?
experience.
Okay.
And, we get to cross the red line of death because we can swim. We're good
Yeah.
swimmers. And who do we see swimming in that deep area but our nemesis from the neighborhood? The same guys, if you recall, Bob and Brian, the fall before had beat us up as Luke Skywalker and C-3PO had kicked myself, Han Solo, and Chewbacca's ass.
That was Chewbacca with the toilet seat lid.
Right.
He had
Right,
the-
the toilet seat fur.
Right, those
outfit.
same guys.
So you were Han Solo, your buddy was
Chewbacca.
and the other guys were C-3PO.
and Luke Skywalker and 3PO beat up Chewbacca. Those
And
same.
So you're still smarting from the Halloween incident.
We're still mad. And every
And
time
they're
we
at
see
the
it,
pool.
right?
All right, good.
So
So
they're
it's 2-on-2 again. You and
Two on
it's-
two.
It's
So
the
this is
same
like
matchup.
6-7 months later.
right. It's
Yeah.
summer. We're I think 12 years old now, 11 or
Yeah.
12. I don't know.
Okay.
So they're in line for the high dive in front of us, and we're behind them. They go up. And these are bigger. These guys are bigger than we were. I was only 5'2", about 90 pounds, soaking wet.
Yeah.
And these kids were bigger
And,
kids.
and you probably were soaking wet right there.
I actually
Lucky
was.
for you.
Well, is he
So-
soaking wet?
So these
90
guys
pounds?
go up, and they cannonball, and they get us wet. Like it really mattered because we're wet already.
You're at the pool.
Right.
Don't say stop splashing.
And then you added some screams to the sounds.
But they were good at cannonballing. So then I get up there. I'm like, I'm gonna get you guys now. Like,
They're
oh,
already
big-
in the pool, and you're going to get
they get out because when you're in the
Oh.
deep end, you have to get out right away before you can jump in. So they get out, and I tried doing my 90-pound
Right.
cannonball, skinny,
Throwing a BB in the water.
and I can't even do one correct. I do a total backflip, slap the water.
Ow.
They're laughing at me, and my friend, he can't do one either. So we're like, oh, we got to get these
How
guys.
can you not cannonball? You jump into the water.
Yeah, but you got to get that certain hold the
Okay.
knees close
All right,
to your
all right.
chest, and we didn't know what the hell we were doing. We had no idea what was going on, so we can't get them that. We were like, God, we got to get these guys. So we're gonna
We're 0-2 right now.
we're really getting our asses.
Gosh,
kicked by
Fireman
these
Jim,
guys.
can I just ask you a question?
Sure.
You guys didn't throw a welder into the pool or something, did you?
a TV? Plug it in. We're throwing it in. No, we decided
Oh,
to go
good.
lay down on the deck. You laid there and dried off, and we're just gonna watch it.
How
for a
could you
while.
stay laying on that deck? Because it had that gritty surface, so you didn't slip.
You did it. You just did it.
Wow.
And we were watching until
I
he went.
can't think of a more uncomfortable place in the world than a city pool. 'Cause
Really?
You can't lay down.
It was packed there too. I mean, it's
Okay.
just one of those things.
I just hated them.
Like a coffin wouldn't be.
Well,
Well, we're scouting them out, and we're laying down low. We're gonna wait till they get to the
Yeah.
shallow end. We're gonna
Yeah.
we're decided we're gonna dunk them. A good
They're bigger
dunking.
than you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we're still gonna dunk them. We go to the shallow end. So they finally wade their way over there. We're like, let's go. So we jump in. We come up from behind them. And there's two ways you can dunk somebody. There's the way where you grab around the neck, and you both just fall backwards, but then you both get wet.
Right.
Or there's the way where you jump up behind them and grab the top of their head and just push down.
Right.
Push down as hard as you can.
You don't think there'll be any repercussions for this?
We'll dunk them, and that'll be it.
We're not thinking.
They'll never think about crossing us again.
So.
Even though they've already beat us up once.
So we're going into action. We were behind him, and my buddy gets on top of the other guy, and he gets him. He pushes down and gets his head under water while I get on top, and I somehow get the bigger guy. And I jump on him, and it's like a water ride. He's throwing me around and throws me off. And then they come after us now. We're trying to, you try to run in the water. We're trying to run out of the pool. We make our way out, and they're right behind us. And we decided just to take off out of the whole pool area.
Right.
So you got to run through the shower area, running past the guy. Walk, don't run. Run past that guy. Hit the shower. I wipe out. You hit the wet head.
Oh, no.
I take a header. Boom. Bash my head into the sink. My buddy makes it through. And then they have those gates, those steel gates.
Right, those turnstiles.
One way.
Right.
And they go to another gate and they make like a
They-
big
Right, like a
big
people
jaws.
shredder.
The people
Shredder, right.
That's
It's like
exactly it.
It's the whole same principle of a wood chipper, only.
And they don't go very fast.
No.
When you hit that thing, it slows you down. Well, he hits it, slows him down. He gets his hand wedged in between the shredder
Oh,
bars.
no.
And he's skinny there, you
Yeah.
know, but not that skinny.
Not enough.
Shredded
huh?
in. The guy pulls up behind him, get wedgie, with the swimming trunks.
His arm is stuck in the bar, and now they're just abusing him.
Right, and they just laugh at me because I'm laid out, on the shower floor, turn the shower on me, and then they walk back out.
Well, at least they didn't urinate on you or something.
We're 0 for 3.
These guys.
The parky had to come by and lecture us and let my buddy Lewis wedge him out of there. And
Lewis was his name. Did you see what Jim and Lewis did today?
no. So we were 0 3.
Wow. Well, there's
Sorry to
still
hear that,
time.
Fireman Jim, but
Invite him over to your new pool.
There's more
Fireman
stories.
Jim.
I'll show you some more later, some Nemesis stories. We can go against these guys many times. Never victorious, but many
invite him
times
over.
we
Invite him over for a swim, and then put their sandwiches in your pants.
So I guess the safety tip is
Walk,
Don't run.
all right, Fireman Jim, I am 1099.
Well, now I'm going to tell you about my worst childhood Christmas.
All right.
This is my first Christmas after confirming the truth
Okay.
about Santa. I had questions for a couple of Christmases preceding this, but,
Okay.
so I'm like 8. Now I know better. And I confirmed it because I asked my mother about it. And she said, okay, you're right. But my mom says, now, but your sister still believes. So, don't wreck it for her, because I have a sister who's 3 years younger than I am. She's 5, so she's right. She's a true believer
Right.
in the thing.
Good for her.
So now,
She's going to get all the presents.
for whatever reason, reasons I still don't understand, now that I know this, I decide to push the naughty meter to the limit. I become, and I was normally a pretty good kid, I just became a total hell child. I was completely out of control. I'm just like,
Drinking booze, were
Hey!
you drunk all the time, popping pills?
kid stuff, but I was like, I would try to even draw attention to my naughtiness because I knew there would be no consequence. So I'm like, hey!
I'm running with scissors.
I'm stepping in puddles in my school shoes.
Sure.
Now I knew that, of course, my mom could, punish me.
Yes.
Because my mom said, now, if you're going to, as she always told us, if you're going to be naughty, you're going to get coal in your stocking and no presents. But I just decided to call her bluff on it because my mom is such a soft touch, and I knew she loves Christmas so much, she's not going to blow the whole family morning
For the record,
Christmas.
Brian's mom used to tell him potato on a stick.
I just start going, like, every naughty thing I can do, I'm doing, and openly, and laughing about it. Well,
Buying Playboys?
like making my sister
Renting
sister
pornos?
cry. I would also just openly slander Santa Claus to my sister and to my mother, because my sister was terrified about this
Right.
on my behalf. She's scared for me. Literally, it would make
You were
her
too
cry.
dumb to be afraid for yourself.
She's like, stop
He's
it.
an idiot. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Stop, right. And I said, oh yeah? She'd say,
Does
Dwayne,
he need
don't
medication, Mom?
Don't do it, Dwayne. You're gonna get charcoal in your stocking. Don't
Coal,
do
not
it anymore.
charcoal, just coal.
Please stop.
Yeah.
Please. And I would go, oh yeah, is that right? And I'd like shout at the window,
say-
Santa Claus is a big fat jerk.
Wow. Fat, so you call him like fats?
My sister would be going, oh, stop, stop.
Right.
Finally, I was so convinced that my mom wouldn't do this. I knew she wouldn't. She loved the whole Christmas morning
Sure.
experience of opening
Sure.
the presents. So I, just with increasing intensity, kicked up the naughtiness till Christmas morning. Get up.
The taunting.
Santa Claus, oh yeah, hey,
He's fat and he's ugly. Hey, elves, go tell him that. My sister, stop.
Her sister's had a migraine for a week and a
Do
half.
to yourself.
Right.
Santa, he doesn't mean it. I'm like, oh, yes, I do.
All right, so Christmas morning, you hop out of bed.
So I get out of bed, presents under the tree for my sister Sherry only, and coal in my stocking. I couldn't believe it. I was so much in shock that I thought, okay, Mom's doing this just to scare me. There's really presents.
Somewhere.
I'm going to give her a chance. I'm going to go back in my room and come back out again.
Like I never saw the coal.
Like, okay. I said, coal, okay, I guess Santa did that. Okay, well, I'm going to go back in my room for a while.
All right.
You know, I'm only 8. I mean, I'm
2
only
minutes.
dealing on a reservoir of 8 years of life experience.
Right,
There's not a lot of logic or, you know, I haven't learned from a lot of mistakes yet.
Sure.
Still doing that.
Right.
So I go back in my room, wait, probably 2 minutes.
Right, which is a long time on Christmas morning.
I'm literally shaking.
Good.
What have I done? Yeah. Is that your first real big regret, you think? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll bet.
Oh, boy. It ran deep.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Got
Just
right
the
to
first
it,
time-
didn't it?
Sure,
Just
if I could
the
back
first
it.
time you said, if I had to do my life over again. Link by link, I forged this chain.
Yeah.
At 8.
Make him regret his life at 8.
When I come out, Mom stuck to her guns, man. She blew the Christmas for me.
Wow.
Because now that I realize she is not going to give me any toys.
Yeah.
So I became hysterical.
Good.
I was
Good.
broken.
Good.
I'm screaming, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Wow.
And my dad,
Wow.
who I said has been pretty much, like he's out of touch with the day-to-day stuff. He's like, what in the hell does this idiot kid do now? I'm sorry.
So it's coal.
It was cool. That was it.
Wow.
She stuck to it. And then
So December 26th rolled around, December
No,
27th.
that was it.
That was it.
That was it.
Nothing.
I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
I couldn't believe
You're
it.
the only kid I know who got coal for
couldn't
Christmas.
believe it. It was so
Ever.
harsh. It's harsh. I'm not saying I didn't deserve it, but I'm still amazed that she was so harsh.
Wow.
And I don't know this side of her, but she probably cried herself to sleep for like a week. Like, I hate doing this to the kid, but she did it.
For
You
no
turned out
reason.
better for it.
Well, I'd like to tell you that I learned forever that there are consequences to my action. I don't know that I did.
Right.
But think of how you might have been without that lesson.
Well, I'll tell you this.
Well,
for
there
the
you
next
go.
many childhood Christmases, I was like an angel.
Yeah.
Mother?
May I please?
May I help you with those dishes? Yes, I would like to play Barbies with my little sister Sherry, and I won't beat up the Barbie doll with the Ken doll or run her over with the car.
Did you get to play with her toys? that on that Christmas morning, or were
The
you
rest
just
is a
too
blackout.
shaken?
The rest is a blackout.
Really?
Yeah. I
Just
was
the day was lost.
Devastated. I was
Christmas
broken.
Day, 1964, 65, whenever it
I
was.
was
Just
broken.
wow.
So it
Wow.
happens. It can happen.
Wow.
That might
That
be the
coal
greatest
thing, that's no joke.
People have often asked me, where did the inspiration come for Jimmy Masterlock Dugan's? And I said, well, if you've ever been up early on a Saturday morning and turned on one of the cable channels, you probably have stumbled across these so-called hysterical Las Vegas touts. And I'm sure you guys have seen them, right?
The ads are in the USA Today sports section all the time.
Right, but they're also on TV, and that was the subject of an HBO Real Sports expose back in 1997. Now, I somehow, when I was cleaning out the office, because my radio station's moving to a different facility, found this tape of the piece, and I went back to watch it. And I said, boy, the boys have got to hear some of this. Let me play you just a couple clips here, and you can react. But this is the first one, kind of the lead-in to the whole piece by Jim Lampley, all right?
All right.
Knockout information, the strongest information of the week. College game of the month, absolutely free.
Meet Stu Feiner, nickname The Source.
Listen.
He promises, quote, to piss on your bookie's face. There's also the coach, the legend, and the guru, Jack Price. He says he's God because he can save you from losing.
I've got my helmet on, it's strapped tight, and I'm ready for war.
They call themselves sports advisors, handicappers, or tout services, and there are 1,500 of them selling sports betting tips to the American public.
Okay.
So far, so good.
So
You're
far,
right.
so good. Okay. Let's hear about what he calls a monster.
What's the most damage you ever did to any individual client? Me personally? Yes. $50,000. In the confidence.
Now, first of all, doesn't this sound like a reputable way? Yeah, $50,000.
Is it?
$1,000. In the confidence game, you would call somebody like this a mark. As you call him a mark, we call him a fish. How frequently could you find a fish so gullible that you could simply clean him out? What do you consider gullible? Somebody that's ready to mortgage their house, or just somebody that's ready to put a second mortgage on their house? That's called a monster.
A monster. That's called a monster.
That's called a monster. When somebody's like that, you're got a monster now. He's no longer a fish. He's a monster. It's a Jaws in the water. What do you do with that person? Take him for a ride.
Take him for a ride.
That's called a monster. When somebody's like that, you're got a monster now. He's no longer a fish. He's a monster. It's a Jaws in the water. What do you do with that person? Take him for a ride.
Meet a monster.
His key words were, trust me.
Call him Barry G.
Trust me. I'll never forget those words.
He says he's not the type, doesn't fit the profile. He's 51 and a college graduate who never bet on a game in his life.
Oh, there's the key. There's the key. There's the linchpin to the whole arch. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never bet.
Never bet on a game in his life
How do I do
until
this?
last December.
I watched the show on Saturday morning,
How valuable is my 900 number?
and Stu Feiner was 9-0.
Stu
And I
Feiner.
said, gosh, well, he's 9-0. Well, why aren't I calling? It was just a whim, and I made the fateful call.
Right. The beginning of the end.
Now here's what. Listen to this phone call they taped about. They were actually winning some money with these guys, and the key is they jack you up with their fees. It's like if you're winning big, like this monster they talked about was winning big. He was up like $150,000, but they were charging him like $15,000 a pick.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and he kept going, I'd be even if you didn't charge me all this money or even ahead. But listen, this is the best clip of all.
Hi, I'm Brad Banks for the National Sports Authority.
Brad Banks, for example, is just an actor hired by the National Sports Authority.
The information is free. The call is free.
But actor or no actor, the ad does say free. In fact, it says free, free, free.
Call it now.
But when a real sports producer called, he instead got the bait and switch.
We do offer free selections, but our free picks are computer picks, and our computer's hitting about 53%. If you wanted our best picks, you'd have to pay us.
So our best picks.
Yeah.
So then we have these computer
the
picks.
computer's 53%. You don't want that, do you?
We did. $150. The National Sports Authority promised to make us $1,000. But after winning half that amount, they demanded another $2,000. We said no. They said,
I think you're an asshole, to be honest with you. Why that? Because you're an asshole. Why? I'm doing you a favor. You don't even realize it. So now you're out for good. Don't even bother calling us again. Wait, hold on. That's it. You're done. I think you're an asshole. You paid him what? We paid him $150. Okay, you're done. Pay him again or you get nothing. Okay? Goodbye.
So they don't threaten legal action or anything. They're not going to destroy your credit. They just sit there and call you names. Oh my God!
Listen to that. That's it. You're done. You're out. Pay him another $2,000.
Oh,
They're
wow.
like mobsters.
How much
Is
did
he
you pay?
I paid the $150 like you said.
he said,
I think you're an asshole, to be honest with you. Why that? Because you're an asshole. Why? I'm doing you a favor. You don't even realize it.
Doing you a favor, you don't
So now
even
you're
know.
out for good. Don't even bother calling us again. Wait, hold on a second. That's it. You're done. I think you're an asshole. You paid him what? We paid him $150. Okay, you're done. Pay him again or you get nothing. Okay?
Oh.
Goodbye.
Wow.
What? Why would you pay? There's nothing you can do. You've paid your money already. You got your picks. You won your $500. Why would you ever pay? There's only 1,500 other bookies out there that you can call.
Yeah, are they going to go to the law? This guy owes us $2,000. Why? Because he took our $150 picks and didn't pay us $2,000. What?
Pay us or you're out. You're done. Don't ever call here again. All right, this is the last one. I think you'll like this one too. This is Vinny Gembino or Gembino or whatever, talking about how he'd reel in the monsters.
Okay.
After serving 2.5 years in jail on unrelated felony charges.
Oh yeah, well that's a shock, isn't it?
Well, there's a whole other kettle of fish there. Oh my gosh, unrelated. Those were unrelated charges, nothing to do with his story. Okay,
He's in jail on unrelated felony charges. Danny Bianculo worked in
Danny Bianculo.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Danny Bianculo worked in Jack Price's operations for 6 months.
I've seen us flip quarters to find out what team we're releasing. To a guy that's betting 10 to 15, maybe $20,000 on a game. Flip it a coin.
Wait a minute, back it up, back it up, yeah.
$20,000 on a game. Flip it a coin. Bing.
Here, you gotta listen to this. I'll be real quiet for this.
Guy, we just got the call from Las Vegas. Telling you, jump on the Cowboys. -7. Lock. Unload. Guy, we just got the call from Las Vegas. Telling you, jump on the Cowboys. -7. Lock. Unload. Are you sure about that? I'm telling you, go to the store, get a 6-pack, get yourself a cigar, and a roll of toilet paper. Because when you see this game, you're gonna
Oh my God, I forgot that line. Go to the store, get a 6-pack of cigar and a roll of toilet paper.
Get yourself a cigar and a roll of toilet paper. Because when you see this game, you're gonna
Jump on the Cowboys. It's a lot.
Unload.
I'm flipping coins. Flipping a coin.
Say that again.
Are you sure about that? I'm telling you, go to the store, get a 6-pack, get yourself a cigar and a roll of toilet paper. Because when you see this game, you're gonna
Wow, you were right. That was great.
Just describe quickly again your encounter with the deer dog.
The deer dog. It was a fawn. It was crossing the road. Now there's two stories. I saw
Fawn?
It was a fawn. It was crossing the road. And it was stumbling up through the ditch trying to. It was very young.
You said it didn't look well.
No, the fawn looked okay.
Oh, it did?
It was the fox that didn't look okay. So the next day I'm going, not in the same area, but I see this scurvy, mangy-looking fox.
Gonorrhea.
And I thought, is that another fawn? And I got up closer. I saw no.
So it was big enough to be a small fawn?
No, I was a ways away. I couldn't get a real good look
His
at it. And
perception
you're the
was
one,
off.
right? You're the one who came up with the. I saw the deer dog. It was not a deer dog. That didn't come out of me. You came up with the deer dog.
Well, you were so confused as to what it was.
We clarified
I know you
it, though.
wanted to say deer dog.
No, I never.
It was one of our deer dogs.
One of them sift up foxes that when I was looking at it, it tried to get under my car.
And it
All
lives near the outdoor racetrack.
Well, here we go. Dear Bob and Brian, mostly Bob. My story begins on a bright, sunny morning 6 days ago while driving around Muskego. So it's the right place.
Yeah.
I was looking for an address, so I turned onto the road I needed to be on, Hillendale, north of Janesville Road.
I'm familiar with that area.
Has a church right on the corner. I'm not paying much attention to the road because I'm looking for the address. Out of the corner of my eye, I catch a glimpse of something near the road, maybe 15 feet away, behind the church. Now, ordinarily, I wouldn't give it a second thought because I'm on a mission to find this address, but something in my hard drive clicked. I remembered something you were talking about a few days or weeks back about a dog or a deer or a deer dog. So I hit the brakes and backed up to see if the mythical deer dog truly existed. And to my utter amazement, there it was. About 15 inches tall.
Yeah.
Almost hairless.
Yeah, the scurvy sift-up fox.
Taking what looked to be...
It had like a rat tail.
Ew.
Taking what looked to be the dump from hell.
Oh. Oh.
Let's just say the animal was not in the best shape and constipation was high on the list of things wrong with it. You know what I'm talking about, that hunchback waddle walk.
Oh.
I watched him for a few minutes as he waddled across the backyard of the church, still hunched over, to a campfire pit where he proceeded to eat garbage.
This fox, it can't get
Somebody
sick enough
shoot
to
it.
die.
Yeah, it's eating antifreeze and.
Maybe it's one of them there animal zombies. It ain't no deer dog. That's a zombie fox.